The Well bike, a British motorcycle fitted in an airdrop canister used for WW2. Look at the little cylinder container. I guess it gets dropped from the sky. Doesn't look very big. Looks like a tricycle almost. Damn, that fool's moving! And think about it, like this is rough terrain. You can't just drop bicycles on terrain like that. You're not gonna move at all with that. All you gotta do is really drop like 200 of these just outside of a city and you could overrun them pretty fast, I feel. Just the motorcycle drive-bys. In a protest against censorship, this was shot in 1834, trying to break in as many rules as possible. I think it did that. You used to not be able to show law defeated inside of the thigh, lace lingerie. Oh, I probably can't say that. Censorship. Crazy that we're still dealing with stuff like this, just in a really different form. It's insane that like 100 years later almost, and this is still kind of around, just a slightly different form. Here is fossilized dinosaur skin. I don't really know. This kind of looks just like a turtle to me, or like a burnt cheese pizza. Something about this is a little bit disturbing, that whole phobia, triphobia gets it going. This carpet's designed with aerial photographs. And if you zoom in, you could see like there's a river, there's all these different plots of land, farming, things like that. Where is this? This is actually kind of amazing. I just want to go around just stomping on everything, imagining I'm like Godzilla stepping on all the people. It's kind of one of those timeless things that you would always do no matter how old you get. This is actually in Sacramento, California, in the garage terminal walkway. There could be only one state something like this could happen in. It's Alaska, baby. There you go. I can't help but think of this guy as Alaska saying, "We ain't leaving today." Here's a beautiful street in Spain. I don't see why more places don't do this. Instead of, you know, doing something artificial, why not make it all natural? I mean, yeah, sure, it probably only takes like a couple decades to get it going, but let's just start now and we'll have something nice in the 2050s. The world's largest uncut diamond. This is worth about $52 million. For research purposes, can I get a location? In the time of black and white photos, this person achieved a color photo by taking 3 different photos with different filters, red, blue, and green. This was done in Russia 108 years ago, way ahead of its time. Why did we never discover this method? We probably eventually did discover the method, but like, why wasn't that passed around to everyone? All these major events in the last 100 years could have been in color. Actually, not exactly, because you have to be able to like set everything exact again and then take 3 photos of the same thing. So WW2 in color probably still wouldn't have been a thing. A blue king crab, and of course, its location, Alaska. You would think that over time, most king crabs would be blue. Wouldn't this help them blend in with their environment a bit better? But then again, like the sea floor isn't blue. If it was swimming, maybe I don't know. Yeah. I think there's only one thing that can be said when looking at this image. Life, finds a way. Why did that sound so cheesy? In my head, it sounded like it was gonna be epic. Here's a video shot through a solar telescope. These are towers of plasma, and they are 30,000 miles tall. 30,000 miles tall. I can't even fathom. How is this possible? Does it matter? This made me wonder how close you can get to the sun without oofing yourself. I guess you can get surprisingly close, if you want to call that surprising. The sun is about 93 million miles away from Earth, and you can get about 95% of that distance to it without burning up. Oh, of course, that's with like a spacesuit on, but what's more terrifying is like if you are getting that close to the sun, there's nothing that can stop you. Like if you're not in a ship with some like jet propulsion, you're just getting sucked into its gravity well. Like it's just going to continue to get hotter and hotter. Like I think about the frog and the boiling water that's slowly being turned up. Like you can't stop it. You're just going to continue to get closer and closer until oof, coolest aquarium ever. Did he get to draw that or color that himself? It's gonna put it inside. Wait, is it with the other fish though? That's the big question. Is it with the live fish? That is pretty cool. It'd be even better if they like laser printed the design onto an actual fish that was like swimming around. Obviously, not humane, but it'd be cool. So this guy in Nam crawled for 3 days by himself without any sleep to take out an enemy general with a single shot. He never got caught. He was never spotted. He returned back safely. I can barely go without 6 hours of sleep at night, and I'm already feeling like I'm about to lose my mind. I actually recently stayed up for like 36 hours not that long ago, and I kept feeling dizzy. Time was going by super slow. I couldn't I had no motor functions anymore. Well, I wasn't paralyzed, but I wasn't moving right. Here's a Turkish caramel. Is this like street vendors in Turkey? I don't know what that is, but I would like to consume it. What is all that other stuff? It's looking so colorful. Is that also caramel or like a green apple flavor? You could already tell it's gonna be like a crazy design. This man is talented. Oh, it's about to be a flower. All right, I need to go to Turkey. Love the hat. I want one of those. Oh, I need to look on Amazon. How do you get those? What is this? There's sand in the ball things. Oh, and then he's clapping them. I see, he's clapping them against the other shells or whatever. Oh my god, this is so awesome. He's clapping them against each other. Now just put some small LED lights on those things and go to a rave and watch people lose their freaking minds. It is a Kashaka instrument. This man survived the Titanic sinking, but spent so much time submerged in the icy Atlantic that doctors wanted to amputate his legs on rescue ship Carpathia. He refused the amputation, recovered, and went on to win the US Tennis Championship that very same year. What a beast. Those legs looking pretty straight though, bro. Was he able to bend them anymore? Is it just me, or does anyone else feel like they could take him in Wii tennis? You're about to go down like a sinking ship. A 5-year time-lapse of a tree growing. And I also get to see a 5-year time-lapse of this dog growing up. Oh, I'm gonna be so depressed if the dog stops showing up. Oh, please don't do that. Oh, whew. Wait, are we at the end of the video? Oh, there's a new dog now. That cat's gone though. Wow, the video's not even about the dog. I would have just cried if the dog stopped showing up midway through the video. There was a monument in Georgia which gives instructions in 8 languages on how to rebuild society after apocalyptic event, while also functioning as a compass, calendar, and clock. Wait, now the state of Georgia or the nation? I'm pretty sure the country of Georgia is what we're talking about. That's probably definitely the case since that language doesn't look English to me. And why would they need to use 8 different languages in the state of Georgia? I mean, who knows? Oh, here's Spanish. Okay. Screw Stonehenge. If the aliens build anything, they probably helped build this. Actually, this probably wasn't built that long ago. I don't know why, but for some reason I felt like it'd be a pretty hilarious troll if you actually translated it and it was just like Ozymandias. I'm already laughing before I say it. Girl. I can't say it. It's probably not even that funny. Girl, come over. I can't, babe. I'm taking a trip in my 18th century hot air balloon tonight, but my parents aren't home. Me? Does that even make sense? In my head, that sounded so much funnier. This person who lost their wife planted 6,000 oak trees, leaving a space for only this in tribute to her. I'm wondering, like, was he still around to see it look this good? Like, this had to have taken at least a decade or 2, right? Although those trees don't look very large. These other ones surrounding it look much bigger. Imagine you plant that and then 5 years later you find somebody else. This lady named Katherine Johnson calculated Earth's orbit and rocket trajectories for NASA's early space missions. She was so skilled that the astronaut John Glenn had specifically asked for her and refused to fly unless it was her calculations that it was verified by. Dude, your life was in her hands, man. I would be taking her out every night. Don't be making her upset. One little math problem slightly off and you gone. Piss her off enough. 2 + 2 = 3. Before a typhoon, apparently light refraction in Japan causes the sky to look purple. That is absolutely terrifying. You know some shit is wrong when the sky turns purple, no matter what's going on. You see any sort of color but blue in the sky and something is really wrong. I remember reading about this earthquake or volcanic eruption somewhere in Chile a couple years ago, and it was like massive. It was like, it broke records. And people were saying that the sky had turned red. What the hell is all that about? That's don't tell me that. Don't throw rocks in a glass house unless you're in the right room. If you're in the correct room, then I'm sure it's fine. If your house is made of glass in only small parts, then yeah, throw those rocks. This was a 1960s stove that never caught on, but look how amazing this looks. This actually makes me depressed. Like, how many things do we use to this day where the design is actually inferior to something that just didn't take off, that just wasn't very popular? Maybe there was a better design for microwaves or something. I don't know. This looks pretty cool though. I'm pretty sure this design is probably not as good. This seems like a lot of wasted space. It's still cool though. A Buddha statue in Bangkok, and it almost like perfectly aligns with the sun. Is this photoshopped? Why does this look so incredible? This is an amazing photo. Looks like a Thai 80s movie. Something bad's about to happen tonight though. This is the Magnus effect, which like when you spin something, wow, it looks like it's flying. It didn't even spin it that hard either. How did it get so much? Oh, I thought it was gonna keep bouncing. I was waiting for it to like bounce and start to pick up speed again and get more elevation back up into the sky. I just finally learned about this ship in yesterday's video. I've seen it so many times. This is a 400-year-old Swedish ship. It kind of like wasn't crazy epic or anything. It kind of just like sunk, but they eventually completely reconstructed it in the 1900s. This was built in the 1600s, so you can go around and look at it to this day. In Seattle, this Boeing factory disguised their whole operation by building like a miniature neighborhood on top of it all. These buildings are only 4 feet high. You can actually see the structure like hidden way in there. This illusion works really well, like kind of terrifyingly well. Why were we that good at that stuff? This is actually just a huge building in general, although it's all like a miniature, so it's probably not that big of a building, but instead it just looks like it's a massive building because everything is small up here. I mean, luckily the Japanese never stopped by Seattle, but that'd be very confusing to see like hundreds of airplanes being produced by just this small town. This is the highest resolution photo ever taken, 365 gigapixels. It's like a panorama, and you can zoom all the way in. This must be like the most expensive camera. Damn! What is that zoom? Like 2000 X? Does that make any sense? There is a train station in the middle of nowhere in Japan with no entrance or exit. It's basically just a place for people to stop and observe the view. There's literally nothing around. That would suck to get stranded here, though. Maybe you could like jump the fence and go camping somewhere out in the wilderness. That's not a bad idea. Why English is so hard to learn? You think English is easy? Check out the following. The bandage was wound around the wound. The farm was cultivated to produce produce. I can barely even speak English, so I don't know why I'm reading this. We must polish the Polish furniture shown at the store. Upon seeing the terror in the painting, she shed a tear. Oh, wow. This is why we need to go back to just monkey talk. This good, English bad. This is a female 1860s archery outfit, and that is a diary that they would be wearing or kind of holding on to. Never thought my wife would be an 1860s archer, but here we are. She's looking good. I was given a 1965 silver certificate as part of my exchange from McDonald's. McDonald's holding on to those $1965 bills? It's weird to think that this isn't like more valuable than the other dollars, right? Like, is this not worth $2? I'd pay money for this dollar bill. This is a Russian dance where they move with such short steps that they appear to be floating. This looks like a Disney ride. 1928 machine oofer fashioned inside an old violin case. Had to do it back in those days. Very secretive time. That thing looks good. That thing is a classic. I should bring back this look. A view of the Great Pyramid from the streets of Cairo. This is something that we never see. They always show these pyramids just in the middle of the desert like no one else is around. That doesn't make any sense though. Like, why would anyone do that? But in my head, for a long time, it was just in the middle of the desert. Just a giant triangle. Nobody around for hundreds of miles. As always, big thanks to the patrons. I'm About a Nut, Zeffi, Thiccboi 3000, the Glen Council, BallinLikeStalin, Stormtrooper 501, Scotty from Marketing, Patrick C, Palantino 1013, Manny 74, Mac, M203 BrushEm, LuxembourgLover, FusionWolf, EpiNick, Elijah Senpai, Dalton D, AryanAfterHours, Anikyte, and Aaron F.